I love extraction shooters. I have put an ungodly amount of hours into Escape from Tarkov, and while in my opinion the game has fallen off a lot since the time I started playing, which was about when the Hideout was first released, I still think it's one of the best extraction shooters on the market right now. There have been many studios trying to capitalize on the newfound popularity of the extraction shooter genre, but today I wanna focus on two of these games, in particular, ArcRaiders and Marathon. But before we start, a reminder to subscribe, leave a like and also hit the bell if you haven't done it already. It will help me out a lot, and you also get notified when I upload. Anyway, this is why I think ArcRaiders is the best extraction shooter and why Marathon missed the mark. ArcRaiders is the sole reason I stopped playing Escape from Tarkov. It was a combination of its underwhelming 1.0 update and the fact that ArcRaiders is actually fun. You're telling me I don't have to wait 7 minutes to load into a raid? No joke, you could squeeze an entire ArcRaiders match by the time you load into Streets of Tarkov. Oh, and also it's one of the very few games made in Unreal Engine 5 that doesn't run like complete ass cheeks. But let's not get sidetracked. If you don't know what ArcRaiders is, I'll catch you up to speed. ArcRaiders is a third-person shooter set in a post-apocalyptic scenario where Earth's environment completely gave up, and to add fuel to the fire, machines named Arc started invading, with the sole purpose of eliminating human life. You play as a raider, someone that ventures outside the safety of Speranza to retrieve rare goods for monetary gains. With this setup, you'd think this was a PvE game, with lots of jolly cooperation, right? Well, when there's loot involved, it's never that simple. This leads me to the main reason that makes ArcRaiders fun, the social aspect. Tell me, how many times did you have a conversation with another player in any other extraction shooter? Probably none, right? For some reason, ArcRaiders is not like this. Maybe because it's a more casual experience, or because of its lore. Interaction in this game are always so random. Don't get me wrong, shoot-on-sight players are still a thing, but there's plenty of people that just wanna cooperate, or maybe feign friendliness, waiting for the perfect moment to steal your loot. This, in my opinion, is what makes ArcRaiders truly special. You can never feel truly safe, because at the end of the day, if we are playing an extraction shooter, it's for a single reason, extracting with that fat loot. And if you have something someone really wants, nothing is stopping them from taking it from you. It creates a constant tension, which is key in an extraction shooter, because if bringing stuff home is easy and safe, it loses all meaning. By the way, I see lots of people complaining about rats in this game. To be honest, they don't really bother me that much, also because I too sometimes dabble into the fine arts of the rat. But man, if you call getting shot in the back rat behavior, I can tell you've never been shot by a tree before. I will not elaborate on this. If you know, you know. Other players are not the only thing you have to worry about. The Arc enemies are the other reason why this game feels so fun to play. They are not the classic humanoid enemy every other extraction shooter spams. Since they are machines, they can take any sort of form, giving Embark way more creative freedom when designing them, and they might honestly be the best part of the game. Fighting the Arc is just plain fun. They all have unique weaknesses, and they actually pose a threat at any stage of the game. These things never stop being scary. No matter how experienced I get, aggroing a Rocketeer will never fail to make me shit my pants. Also, come on, you can't tell me fighting a giant death machine with an entire army of raiders isn't peak gaming. And the way they react to getting shot is just perfect. The fact that they fly all over the place, still desperately trying to shoot you until they inevitably bump into a wall and explode, will never stop being satisfying and funny as hell. Okay, enough glazing. ArcRaiders might be a really good game, but it's not immune to criticism, and there are things that need to be addressed. First and foremost, cheating. Like any multiplayer game, it's bound to have cheaters, and while I haven't encountered any so far, it's undeniable that they exist, and that they are a problem, and if not addressed, might lead to a huge loss in player numbers. Now, Embark are working on it. The real question is, how fast can they solve this issue? Next are the late raid starts. I don't care what the numbers say, equipping your best gear to only spawn with 10 minutes left to the end of the raid feels awful. If this happens, you are literally forcing me to shoot on sight, since all the loot on the map is on players by this point. Free kits are also a divisive topic. While I think they are mostly fine, I still think there should be some kind of downside to them. The fact that you can spam them really doesn't feel right. Lastly, the expedition system that functions as an optional wipe still isn't in a good spot in my opinion. Having to redo all your quests, losing all the blueprints you gathered, and having to rebuild all your workshops from the ground up is not worth it for the tiny bonuses you get for wiping. But despite all these shortcomings, ArcRaiders remains the best extraction shooter available right now, in my opinion. Okay, now that we have established what a good game looks like, let's talk about Marathon. Take everything I said about ArcRaiders and make it the opposite. And you got Marathon. This game created a shitstorm on the internet in the past few days. Nobody seems to agree if this game is good, if this game is bad. We have people shitting on the game without even trying it, and on the other side, there's people going full-on glizzy sucking. Despite the negativity, I decided to give it a shot regardless. And I only played the game for about 1 hour before I decided to dip and get my money back. I didn't even record any footage of my gameplay. But anyway, Marathon is the most mid game ever. Don't get me wrong, there's some good things here. Like the PvP definitely feels smoother than in ArcRaiders and well actually that might be the only good thing about this game. No, you know what? Scratch that. The game is bad. Like now that I think about it, this game just doesn't feel right or fun. The looting is abysmal, the UI is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, the character design is forgettable, the PvE is atrocious, some enemies take like 2 mags directly into their skull before they die. I don't know how that got past testing, and the worst thing they could have done, they capped the credits you can keep in your stash. They fucking capped the money in an extraction shooter. The whole feeling of amassing wealth is gone. What the actual fuck is Bungie thinking? This feels more like a battle royale than an extraction shooter. Like for God's sake, you don't even loot the bodies of the enemies you kill. A fucking box drops on their feet with all their loot, just like a battle royale. This might sound like it doesn't matter, but it really takes me out of the experience, and when it happens all the time, it completely breaks immersion. In a genre that's all about the immersion. Now, I thought the game's player base was doing fine, like 30k at the time of recording this is not that bad. Then I remember this is a game with a AAA budget, and it's a live service. Yeah, this game might be cooked. Most people defending this game will say that the game is failing because all of the hate, and that makes no sense to me. People actually gave this game a shot. Just like iGuard, you can hide your failures behind gamers being toxic and all the things you wanna tell yourself, but the numbers speak for themselves. People tried your game and decided it wasn't good enough and left. You simply made a bad game. Delaying reviews won't help you. But while I think this game is bad, some people have taken the hate for it to a whole new level, actually hoping people lose their jobs and livelihood. This is completely fucked up behavior. Have we really got to the point where we can't give criticism to a game without hoping people end up under a bridge? To be honest, I hope Marathon doesn't fail. I don't know if they will manage to fix all the problems the game has, but I sure hope they do. I don't like seeing games die like this, but the future is not looking bright. But hey, don't take my word for gospel. If you're willing to drop 40 euros, try Marathon for yourself. Maybe you'll like it. Even if a game is bad, if you like it, then who cares, right? Just don't expect it to last long. That's all I had for this video. Thank you for making it this far, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one.